Welcome to this press event with foreign ministers of Finland and Denmark. We'll start with Minister Valtonen, please.
A very good morning to everybody, and I'm so pleased to welcome my colleague Lars here in Helsinki. Welcome. My memories from my past in Copenhagen are only warm, and they are also very strongly related to the beautiful weather we are having outside, which also is a strong bond between us in the Nordics. But it's indeed that in this very challenging and difficult time, the Nordic-Baltic cooperation is stronger than ever. And the friendship between Finland and Denmark is a crucial element in this. And I think in so many ways we have been only deepening our cooperation over the course of the past months and years. And this gives me great confidence that we are able to face all problems coming towards us together better than ever. We discussed today Russia's aggression against Ukraine and our common response. We look forward to the European Commission's, the very good proposals which came from the European Commission and also the summit tomorrow, and look forward to having a very good, solutions to this issue. And the main issue is, of course, that we are able to come up with a strong package, not just towards ramping up our defense and deterrence in Europe, but also to the aid of Ukraine in this challenging time. Of course, the most pressing issue is now the upcoming peace negotiations. And there are two things I want to leave you with. The Finnish position is very clear. First of all, no aggression should be rewarded. Ukraine has the right to its full sovereignty and territorial integrity, and we have the right and indeed keep on aiding Ukraine towards the freedom that their people have chosen as their future. In this endeavor, and also what comes to a possible ceasefire, Ukraine will need credible security guarantees and security arrangements, and we are open to, of course, also in this matter, step in. Russia will continue to pose a long-term threat to Europe, and we in the Nordics and Baltics have been intensifying our cooperation also in the hybrid space in order to better respond to these hostile threats. And I must commend Denmark's insurance inspections as an example for minimizing risks, as all the vessels through the Baltic Sea go through the Danish straits, and especially in countering the shadow fleet of Russia, which are used for both undermining the sanctions that we have put up strongly together against Russia, but also who do pose a threat to both the environment and critical infrastructure. We have really shown our force in this regard, and our cooperation will continue. So thank you so much for being here, Lars, and I look forward to even deeper cooperation in the future.
Well, thank you, Elina. First and foremost, thank you for inviting me, and I really appreciate our conversation, which is ongoing on a more and more high frequent level. So, I have to push that one. Okay, then I can start all over again. Well, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. And first and foremost, thank you, Elina, for inviting me. I really appreciate our cooperation. And we are living, as you said, in difficult times, which calls for closer friendship and closer cooperation. And I think it's right to say that we have stepped up. And we are working closely together in many different formats, whatever it is within the European Union, NATO, the N5 format, the NB5 format, or whatever. And I've realized that in most situations we look eye to eye on issues. And I will describe our bilateral relations as simply excellent. We are pleased to be in Finland with the royal family and a group of Danish ministers. I don't think we have had such a big delegation at any official state visit for quite a few years, and it simply emphasized that we have a very close relationship. Our cooperation is especially strong when it comes to tackling the serious geopolitical and security challenge we are facing, and you mentioned them. And I think we share the analysis that all European countries must step up and take greater responsibility for security in Europe, and we must do it faster. So I just want to echo what you said about our expectations for the upcoming summit tomorrow in Brussels. It is of crucial importance that Europe now delivers. Russia keeps testing our resolve, our ability to deter and defend, for example, with hybrid threats, as you mentioned. The Russian shadow fleet is also a significant challenge that fuels Russia's war in Ukraine. So cooperation is important, and the recent Helsinki summit on critical subsea infrastructure is a clear example of strong Finnish leadership. When it comes to Ukraine, we see eye to eye on that, and I very much agree that no aggression should be rewarded, as you stated it. And therefore we need more European countries to do more and to do it faster. More countries around Europe must dig deeper into their pockets in order to help Ukraine achieve peace through strength. And therefore we are also ready to soften the European fiscal policy, because that is, I think, unfortunately, you could argue, a precondition for allowing more European countries to do more and do it faster. And then finally, I would say that we really admire your approach to both civilian and military preparedness, as well as a strong defense. I'm very happy to be here to see and learn more from Finland's experience in these fields, and I'm also pleased with the fact that our ministers of defense yesterday signed a memorandum of understanding. So thank you very much, Elina, for inviting me here today.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Please, gentlemen here in the front. Yes, here.
Markku Uusko, Uursomi, Alma Media. I'd like to ask about the coming peace negotiations. What do you think about President Trump's intentions? Do you trust those intentions? Is he on Europe's side against the aggressor, Russia? Thank you.
Well, let me start. Well, first of all, we can only applaud President Trump's strong dedication towards achieving peace in Ukraine. My experience also from my visits to Kiev is that nobody wants peace more than Ukraine. But at the same time, we understand in Europe, and especially I would say us Nordics and Baltics, probably best outside of Ukraine, what a proper peace looks like. And surely peace isn't the same as capitulation or surrender. So there needs to be, as said, a strong focus on the UN Charter and the fundamental rights of sovereign countries to not only exist, but also to their territory and, of course, to the freedom of their people. So this is very much the Finnish message that we are also conveying to our friends in America.
Well, it will be down the same lines. I think everybody wants peace, and no one wants it more than Ukraine. And the reality is that if Russia stopped fighting, then the war could end. If Ukraine stops fighting, then there will be no Ukraine. So it's very clear to see the difference between the aggressor and the one who has been attacked. And we support a long-lasting, just and fair peace. I think we should explore the possibility, as proposed by this new European leadership, which consists of Macron and Starmer, the idea of a short truce, also to push Putin, because What's happening right now is that we are discussing among ourselves, and we do it in a very transparent way. And in the meanwhile, we have Putin in total silence within Kremlin. The American perspective is that he is ready to negotiate. I don't think we have exactly the same impression. We have to test that. So I think the idea of making a kind of step-by-step solution is an excellent one, which we want to support. We want peace, but not just in the meaning absence of fighting for a short while, which will enable Putin to re-ramp and remilitarize Russia and attack again. So, I mean, it's pretty complicated, but we need security guarantees, and this is something which is discussed these days. And in principle, we are ready to participate, of course.
We have time for one more short question. Please, here in the front to the right. Please wait for the mic, please. Thanks.
Yes, thank you. Elina Valtonen for Helsingin Sanomat. This goes to both of the ministers. President Trump said in his speech to the Congress that he thinks US will get Greenland one way or the other. What is your message to Mr. Trump, and have you had any recent contacts on this theme with the US government? Thank you.
Well, first of all, I would like to draw the attention to the fact that he said we respect the Greenlandic's right to self-determination, and that, I think, was the most important part of that speech. And I am very optimistic about what will be a Greenlandic decision about this. They want to loosen their ties to Denmark. We are working on that to have a more equal relationship. But I have no idea that they want to do that in order to become, an integrated part of America. So emphasizing what he did, the right to self-determination, I think was the most important part of the speech. Having said that, in substance, we realize that we have common interests. Greenland, Denmark, US, when it comes to the security in the high north and in the Arctic. And we are ready to work with our American friends on achieving that. But of course, it would be based on the fact that we have a kingdom of Denmark. And then I just want to add very shortly that there is an election going on in Greenland. It will be the 11th of March. And I will be reluctant to say much more about this until we know the result of that election. I think it's important that it's free and fair and without any kind of international intervention. So I think I will limit myself to these remarks.
Mm-hmm. And I will limit myself to saying that, of course, Denmark has Finland's full support. And on issues regarding Greenland and Denmark, can nobody decide other than Greenland and Denmark themselves.
Thank you very much, ministers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.